Hey everybody, it's Becca J. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to play with my Alocasia Polly or Amazonia something. They're called all different things. I just call mine Polly. I've given her that name. I call her Polly. She is a Polly. African mask shield. But I'm really excited about her because I found her at Walmart's. For 10 bucks, 10 bucks, you guys, like, boom, she was huge. She doesn't have a proper ID. Let me get the little tag. I mean, that's the tag, and it just simply says Alocasia. You know what? I've heard people call it Alocasia, Alocasia. What is, like, it specifically? I may have to go to Google and type it in and have Google tell me how to say it, because I'm like, I just call them all Alocasias. They're aroids, okay? That's all we need to know. And I don't think you're just a random person watching random plant videos, so you know exactly what I mean. But look at this. Look, here she is. Ta-da! Look, full effect. Boom! She big. Look at that. And I'm big. I'm a big girl. But look at that. Look. Head test. Like Kaylee Ellen. Head test. Look at that. Yes. And she's full. But I'm noticing I can probably get 2 out of her. I want to repot her into 2 different. And then I want to check and see if she's got any tubers. This pot is kind of cute, but I mean, it gets nasty. I don't know, but it does have just the planter pot inside. And so I got her and I noticed she popping out. Look, can you? Like, she just gonna explode out of this soon. So, oh, there's some water in the bottom. So we're gonna repot her. And yeah, I'm really excited. I know there's not gonna be like a million tubers or bulb thingies, but you know, I'm hoping at least 3. 6 would be awesome, but I'm hoping for at least 3. And like I said, I want to separate her, because what's better than one Polly? Many Pollys. I am sad though. She had a humongous leaf, humongous, and it got bent because she was so heavy and it snapped. So I'll have to clean it up. But look, that's where it was, right there. And that's what I was like, I think we're having issues with the pot. She can't sustain herself properly. And I mean, like I said, I got it from Walmart, so who knows what kind of care they had there. Okay, let's get this out. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to vacuum. Look, she's ready. I know they like to be root bound, but let's just give her a little bit more space. Okay, so I'm going to get off all the old soil, and it's not even a good chunky, I see koya in here, core, but it's not, I don't see any bark. It's almost like a generic potting mix, which, I mean, she'll eventually drown. Or I have to go through like weird stages to where I starve her for a bit and then feed her, you know. Bringing them down to the brink of death and then giving them water is not, it's not allowing them to flourish. So it's just better if you just put them in proper soil and be consistent. So I've had her, I mean, and she's wet. You see, she's not dry. I've had her for 2 weeks. And I've only watered her once, and she's just soaked. I mean, she's happy, but I don't think it'll last long at this rate. All right, so let me work on this. All right, so here we are. I actually took her to the sink and gave her a little massage with some water because I just couldn't get under. And then I found, wait till I show you how many tubers I actually found. But here is all her roots. I mean, yeah. And then I, you know, patted her down with a damp paper towel. But I wanted to show you what I'm wanting to separate these. And I'm just not sure how to do it. I know which one the original one is because I found that paper that comes from, what is it? Like the plugs, you know, when they nurseries make them from plugs. I found like the paper wrapper on one. Now I can't find it. So I know which, yeah, there's a little bit still here. I don't think you could see, but I really want to separate them. They're wiggly, but I'm just wanting to do it without any damage. So I'm going to work on that for a second and we'll see if we get any success. That way I could pot them separately, and then I got to show you all these tubers. Well, I'm getting this far. This is almost like a craft project. You've kind of follow, because you don't want to just yank and rip them. So it's like I'm kind of following where it goes and trying to unweave it out so that I can detangle them rather than just yank them apart. All right, we've got separation. I'm trying to be so careful. Look, ooh. Yes. Man, she gonna be mad at me for a couple days, I think. Okay, I'm just gonna make sure I don't see any more tubers. Nice and long and beautiful. This one still has plenty of leaves. So does this one, and long, beautiful roots as well. So I'm going to put these in 2 separate pots. And now let's count the magical tubers I found. You guys. Okay, you ready? We're going to count. So I got 1. Put it in my cup. 2. 3. I don't know. I'm just going to hold them all up and then tell you. How's that? Look. Oh no, I dropped one. So, we have 14 in here. It's amazing. 14. Wait till you see. I had this little baby one. I almost missed it. Where'd it go? Because it's so tiny and it looked like a mosquito bit, but it's not. Look how tiny and cute that is. I mean, it's tiny. I almost missed it. But let's see. Can you see? You can't see. There we go. There's all my little tubers. I'm so excited. I'm going to have pollies everywhere, which is really exciting because next year I'm wanting to start selling plants. So the more they make, the more I can share with the world. Okay, so let's get these potted up. Okay, so I have these. They're almost 3 quarts. It's 2.9. I'm gonna do 1 for each because I think, I mean, it'll be, you know, that's fair. Still gives them room, yet still they can be little close quarters. So I'm going to do that for 2. I have my potting mix here that I pre-made up myself. It's super nice and chunky. It's got lots of orchid bark, a little bit of cactus and succulent soil, I'm dropping stuff, horticulture, charcoal, coir, vermiculite. I can never remember if I'm pronouncing that right. Let's see. Oh, it's got some worm castings. And then we're going to be putting in some mosquito bits also. I always feel like I'm forgetting something, but it's super nice and chunky, so it can drain quickly yet retain, and it'll be airy for those roots to get really big so the plant can just completely explode. Because I want her to be so big, so proud. A $10 one from Walmart, that's crazy. Okay, so let's get some mix into a pot. I use just a little miniature, like 4-inch one to scoop, or I'll be here all day if I just used a spoon. And honestly, I don't think I have enough. I'm gonna have to make some more in a minute. Okay, so I have filled it up about halfway. We're gonna set her in there and see. So her roots are starting to lay, and then we can do that. I think that'll be good. I just got to get the soil or the medium ready for the rest. I think I actually want to put more in there. Okay, so let's fill her up. I'm gonna tap it down just a little bit. And that way some of this stuff can get down in between all the roots. Okay, I need mosquito bits. Because the gnats love me, I hate them. I probably put in too much all the time, but I hate the gnats. I hate them, and I'm just fighting them so bad. So I'm so excited. I hope she is too. She's probably mad at me right now because I messed with her roots so much. I mean, tried to unthread them, gave them a little bath, pulled out all her tubers. Maybe I should have left 1 or 2 tubers, honestly, because, I mean, if something happens to this, then the tubers, those little bulb things, ensure that the plant goes on. But it's okay, because I have, like, what did I say, 12, 14 of them? We'll be fine. It's just I like how big she already is. I mean, yeah. Okay, so I have to go make up some potting mix because this was not enough for 2. So I will be right back in just a second. Okay, so I got some more mix. I think this one, it should be about the same size. I don't measure, I just go by how it feels. So, and I am now out of the large pieces of orchid bark, so I have to move on to my reptile bark, which is fine because I have some smaller plants I need to repot, and the big chunks just, I don't think would work out as well. It'd be too chunky for little babies. Okay, let's put them in a pot. I mean, we're putting dirt from one bucket to another. That's nothing exciting. Okay, I've got it filled up to about here, about halfway, maybe a little bit more. But the second one, her roots don't seem to be as long as the other ones, so I don't want like too much, but we will, yeah, she'll be fine. Let me I think I'm going to take out a little bit more and try to form a well. It's really hard with the super chunky soil to form that well. Okay, so I think that'll be good. I'm going to start filling her up. My husband just appreciates that I do this in the living room. It's such a mess. It really is. Okay, I'm just tapping it down just a little bit, not like compressing too much, but I want to make sure that she's stable and some of the stuff is actually getting in between the roots. So that's not just one huge big air pocket, you know? I just realized we didn't talk about care tips. I was wanting to do that too. Alocasias, once you've figured out the soil and the lighting, it's easy from there. And I have found most of my information with Facebook groups. Really great people, because Google is not always right. And I like people's personal experiences, because I mean, we all live in different zones. I live in the Southwest. I'm in the desert. It's like over 100 degrees just today. So it's not so much the lighting, it's the UV. You know, I can't have things too close to the window because I have old windows and it'll just fry even if I have some curtains. So say somebody who has this same plant and they're in like Rhode Island. Okay, well, they could have this plant, you know, 2 to 3 feet away from a window or right in the corner, right off the window. In my house, it's more like 10 feet. And I actually have her about 14 feet. And I probably wouldn't even say 3 feet for them, because these guys or girls, I'm going to say girl because she made her own babies, they like medium indirect light, because in their little forest, they grow lower than everything else and they grow in that shade. So not smashed up against a window, of course. Don't throw them in a closet. They don't like the dark. They will just kind of fade away. But I don't know. I know I have it figured out for my house, what the different lightings are in my house and what the plant can actually stand. I mean, I have like a cacti and agave pretty close to the window and they just burned. I have a bird of paradise who needs lots of bright light. I couldn't put it 3 feet in front of the window because it was just too strong of the UV, I guess, especially with the older single pane windows with no UV protection. So in your house, medium indirect light. If you can read in it, it's fine. Kind of shady, I guess. That's the only way I can think of it, is like if it were outside, it would be a shady spot, but it's inside, but not too shady. Not in the dark corner. I don't know. It's taken me a while. I have killed many plants trying to get to know what my light is in the house. And then when the seasons change, it all changes again. So again, being forest creatures, they do like humidity. So you can put them on a pebble tray. You can put them in a room with a humidifier. I have humidifiers going all the time. China. I have humidifiers going, and it's like only at night does it get above 40% humidity. Most of the time I'm running between 32, and now that I've added more pebble trays, I can run about 37. And these are still doing well for now. Like I said, I haven't had it too long, but it has given me quite a few babies. Wow, it's so pretty. I've had a lot of new leaves on this, so I think it's happy. It's pebble trays. Yeah, fertilizer. I use a very diluted fish fertilizer. They love it. I'm adding mosquito bits now because the gnats. Let's see, other fertilizer like the worm castings. Just I mix it in with my mix. Let's see. Watering. I mean, don't dry them out. Don't starve them, but don't drown them. Once you know your medium and your pots, you'll know better. So once a week, this will be fine for now. That's where I'm going to start at with her, because that's what I was doing before. But she was waterlogged when we looked at the roots. Stick your finger in there, check it. I don't really like moisture meters because with the chunky soil you can hit an air pocket and your reading can be way off. And they'll tell you quick. They'll give you yellow leaves if you overwater them. See, I'm trying to remember what else. What else is important to a plant's survival? Light, water, air. Okay, so they do like warmth. You know, avoid cold drafts. Between 65 degrees and 85 degrees, which is generally what most indoor houses have it anyway. So don't freeze them, don't cook them, keep them on a pebble tray if you have to for the humidity. People say mist, but I mean it's debatable. Some people are extremely pro misting, some people are anti misting. I don't do misting as a way of humidity. I do it just, I mean, it would rain in the jungle, so I mist them to get kind of that effect, and then it also helps the leaves kind of be cleaned naturally, I guess, because I have over 100 plants and now I have a lot more little baby tubers, and going around and cleaning all their leaves with a solution like some people use milk and water. I like to use lemon juice and water, and that helps. But misting I use as a cleaning option. Yeah, so they like to be moist, not overwatered, not underwatered. You let her go too dry, the tips will eventually turn brown, and that's how you know this one's not. She's doing fine. Too much and she'll be soggy, and you'll waterlog her and you get root rots. Okay, so they can go dormant in the winter, so she starts dropping leaves. Just see what season you're in. If she's dropping leaves in summer and you're like, oh my gosh, okay, you have an issue. But when it starts to roll around towards winter, she's gonna go dormant. You don't want to water as much, but you want to keep that tuber rhizome alive in there. Some people even dig them up, put them in heating trays. I mean, you could put grow lights on them and they may not go dormant. Just depends on what you want. I'll be doing the grow light things and see if we can at least sustain 1 or 2 leaves, but we'll see what happens. We'll see how much space I have. I may just go back to tuber. I may just go and let them be dormant this year. Give myself a break too, because I'm tired of chasing plants around sometimes, watering them. The Alocasias Pollys, most Alocasias, most aroids. Double check though, because not all aroids are. Toxic to animals, people. Don't eat them. Don't be weird. Now some though, yeah, it's not all aroids, but this Alocasia, most Alocasias, toxic. Okay, so this plant is not drought tolerant. It will throw a fit if you let it go bone dry and then water again. I mean, you're basically like taking it to the edge of death, giving it CPR, and then taking it to the edge of death, you're just keeping it barely there. And it may look fine, but it'll start to eventually resent you, and it's going to throw a fit. Some yellowing is normal because some of these plants are, you gain a leaf, you lose a leaf. So the older ones will get yellow and die off. And that's fine, because especially if new ones are popping out, it's fine. It happens. It's just its form of regeneration, and that's normal too. You'll kind of know. You'll get the hang of it. It took me a while, but you'll get the hang of it reading your plants. Water temperature should just be neutral. I mean, just like it would be out during rain or groundwater. You don't want cold water, it'll shock it. You don't want hot water, you're just gonna burn it. Just tepid water, no big deal. Also, again, drooping leaves could be a sun issue. If it's too dark, they'll droop. They want more, but don't like go drastic. Don't go from dark corner to right up against the window. You know, move it little by little to see how she reacts. Give it a little bit of time. You know, I usually check back 24 hours later, and if it's still sad face, I don't know. I always check soil first. Soil's always my first thing, because I've got the lighting kind of, like I said, down pat in my house. So soil next. Then I look around to see if there's any bugs. And if it gets down to it, to the nitty gritty, I just can't figure this out. You know, I do belong to Facebook groups. I said, I'll post pictures there. I'll be like, you guys, give me some advice. And there's a lot of really smart people, like just incredibly intelligent, that really know their plants. I learned so much from them. They're very helpful, and they can help you too. But if you're just really having issues and you don't know what it is and you've checked everything, go ahead and rip her out and take a look at them roots. Those roots will tell you everything. If they're dark and mushy and grody, you've got root rot. You've got issues. It's too wet. You can cut those off. Maybe see if there's enough good healthy roots to salvage the plant. Yeah, so if you're a beginner with alocasias, I would suggest getting just the cheaper ones now. I mean, look, I got it $10 at Walmart, and it made 2 plants and what, I can't remember now, 12 or 14 tubers. I'm gonna have polys coming out of every nook and cranny in this house. But don't go, if you're new to alocasias, don't go right away, or even any aeroids of that fact. That's philodendrons, that's strelitzias, your bird of paradise, peace lilies, aglaonemias, which are your Chinese evergreens, philodendrons, I think I said that, your alocasias, colocasias. There's so many in the aeroid family, and you've got prices. There's like a $6,000 plant out there that I'm just to die for. I would love to get my hands on one, but it's not going to happen. And then you have something like this. I picked it up $10 at Walmart. This actually on Etsy would probably be like 20 or 30. You know, but go cheap and practice and learn. Don't just jump out there and buy that $150, $200, $300 pink princess, or, you know, Capria red. Oh my God. My heart skipped a beat at a Capria red. I want one so bad. But I've learned through other people, through videos and YouTube and Facebook, and by doing. I've been doing. So I know what's good for my house. So my information may not be best for your house. Because like I said, I'm in a 7A, 7B, something like that. But I can't put these plants outside either, because the UV, even in the morning, they will fry. I have an agave outside. It fried. Just like, what? And it's in a shady spot. It's just, I don't know. This is a really long video. I didn't intend for this. So if you have any questions or comments, just leave it down below and I'll see what I can help you out with. I'm not a professional, I'm not a pro, but I am comfortable enough with my knowledge that I can share with you. And if I don't know, then I know somebody who does. That's the thing about plants. There's always somebody who does know. Okay, check your Facebook groups. The best. There's the International Aroid Society. Good information there. There's like a Philodendron Monstera Aroid. There's a couple groups. Very supportive, very informative. Yeah. So just do. That's it's like Nike. Just do it. Just go get you a plant and practice. Don't get them though in like November and then wonder why you thought it was dead. It might not have been dead. That plant that you thought died, it might not have actually died. It might have just gone dormant, like it's hibernating, and you tossed out a plant. You know, research it. Bring home a plant and then research it. If you have animals, just be careful because they are toxic. Luckily, my dogs, and even my cat, I mean, she could care less. They don't care, they don't nibble, but I still keep them out of the way. Okay, that's all for me. I'm actually really tired. My mouth is getting dry, and I'm running out of things to say, and I feel like I'm just looking stupider and stupider. So we're done. All right, leave me a comment, drop a like. You don't have to. Maybe subscribe. I don't know. I have a lot more videos that I've been wanting to do. So I love my plants, and I want to share. Okay, bye.